Well, practice, practice, practice. Now what should we do for practice? Well, all I can do is tell you what I do. Let's have a seat and talk about it. Alright guys. Well, we just got all our yard work done. It's time for a cold one. And let's talk about practice. So, just starting out, I didn't have anybody in my life or anybody I knew that was into slingshot shooting, that kind of thing at all. All the people I've ever known shot as a kid had a slingshot, one of those old-fashioned wire ones there that came with the arm brace and whatnot, and had been around forever. The Marksman or the Daisy ones, they've all had those as kids. Shot rocks around the woods or in the parks, that kind of thing. But for the most part, no one ever really did some serious target practice to really elevate their game. Once I started to figure out how I was going to do what I was going to do, you know, I figured with every other sport you're going to need to warm up. Now, basically I have 3 targets in my catch box. I've got a 60 mil flipper, a 50 mil flipper, and a 40 mil flipper. All 3 of them just stacked up on top of each other, and I shoot those on a regular basis. And I do that to warm up, and that's it. Just plinking up and down and up, choosing which one I want to hit at any particular time is basically what I do. And it works out great for me. It's great just to warm up, and it does the trick. Once I've warmed up, then it's time to shoot my first paper target. I've got 2 different kinds. I got one of them, it's like a giant bullseye, and another one that's like it's like 5 bullseyes on a paper, 4 corners and 1 in the center. These are the 2 that I do. Sometimes I'll shoot 1 of each 2 times, 1 at the beginning and 1 at the end of my shooting session. Once I've done the first round of paper, then I'll go on to the 30 mil flipper and shoot my 50 shots. See how that goes. All the time while I'm doing all this shooting, I'm going through my shot sequence in my head. I visualized before I got started, so I thought about everything I'm going to do before I even take a shot. Then I get up to the line and I start warming up, shooting, thinking about my shot sequence the whole time. Then I shoot my first batch of paper, and then I go to my 50 shots. Basically what I do. And then after my 50 shots are done, I shoot another round of paper, and I want to see how that's going to work out. Usually it's around 25 shots, so I do like 5 shots at target, 4 corners, 5 shots in the center, and then we see how that goes. One of the main things you have to remember is to make sure you're having fun. So from time to time, after doing my practice, I'll pull out a couple of other frames just for fun to shoot. Got my Scout LT or my tree fork slingshot or one of the many others that I own, and I'll just shoot a couple of rounds, cut some cans, have some fun stuff, try to set up some fun shots, that kind of thing, just to have some fun. Because really in the end, what all this is about is having fun. The one other thing I have to say that is really, really important to the whole thing is I film myself just about every time I come out. And that's only because if I have a shot that just goes stupid, I want to take a look at my form and see what I've done wrong. And if everything looks right and if my shot just goes haywire and I don't know why, well, I can always look back at the film, see what happened, see if I've done something silly and I missed it, and I can try to correct that problem. And the camera is a very important tool for that, especially for those just starting out and you don't have somebody who really knows or around you that knows about your form and whatnot. This is why I go for this. So, all this jibber jabber, let's get a little warm up going, and then we'll start practicing. Now that we're finished doing a little bit of a warm-up, didn't shoot too well in the warm-up, but we're going to set up the paper now. We're going to take some shots of some paper, and we're going to see how our grouping is going to be. Well, we had 3 really good shots right in that center, and we had 2 flyers. So at this point, I shot 5 shots at every single target that's on there, and I'm shooting really out of whack compared to what I normally shoot. I am using a new band set with a new pouch, with a new attachment system. That could be it. I'm just not used to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch that setup out, and I'm going to put on my green GZK bands again, and we're going to shoot again at the target and see if we can make it any better. If it does make it better, then I know that it's not my form that's the issue, it's a hardware issue, and we'll have to fix that up. Back to the green. Well, my aim was off on this one, but the consistency was much better. It's alright. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on with those other bands. I sure don't know what the issue is. The band set's very even. The pouch tie-offs are good, all that stuff. But it does seem to be a little extra stretchy for the length. So maybe those bands, considering that's my first set or my second set with them, I'm gonna have to cut them a little shorter to get the same amount of zip that the GZK Green does have at 17 centimeters. So now that we're done those, we've kind of worked out an issue. Let's start with our 50 shots. We got a 30 mil flipper up there. We're gonna go through that and see how many shots we can get. Shot number 1. There's one. Ten. All right, we're sitting at 18. I'm down to my last 5 shots. Let's see if we can get 20. There's 19. So 19 hits today. It's not a shabby score at all. It's not my highest score by any means, but I'm pretty happy with it for the most part. After taking those shots on the paper, I realized that there was something really wrong. I wasn't sure. I couldn't figure out if it was me or if it was that. So I kept on taking each shot fine, and some of them were so bad that they went crazy. Now I don't know what's wrong with the band set, but I took the band set off, and when we got into our 50 shots, all of a sudden I would probably say out of those 50 shots, 40 of them at least would have hit a 60 mil flipper, no problem, and 19 of them hit a 30 mil flipper, which is what we were going for. So that to me was a good switch up. So before I adjusted something with my posture, I checked my equipment first to make sure I had a new band on there was something different. I switched that back up, we started shooting, and there we are. So the camera is key. You can see what you're doing, you're taking your shots, all of a sudden you have a shot go haywire, and then you look at your posture and everything is good on the camera, even if you have to slow it down to make sure that your thumb is flat, all that stuff. If all that is good, then it might be a problem with this instead of something with you. Just something to think about. Sorry guys, as you can see now, I got another paper target up there, set up and ready to go. I'm gonna take 5 shots, 5 targets, another 25 shots, and we're gonna go and hit all 4 of those. And we'll see if we're any better than the first round, because the first round sucked. Sorry folks, just to give you a quick recap of my training session and why I do it. So first things first is a warm-up, just because when you're shooting cold, you're not going to have the flexibility and the dexterity to be able to do what you got to do, get your timing down and all that stuff. Then I shoot the paper, and I use that to work out any kinks. Today we used the paper, and it actually told us that we had an issue with our equipment, not with our shot sequence. So we swapped out the bands that were on there, and we ended up shooting the original GZK green, and everything tightened up quite nicely. Then I did my 50 shots. By 50 shots, I shot reasonably well, pretty well. Hit 19 hits, and that was really good. Strung together a few times we had multiple shots strung together, hits right back to back, which was really good. My misses were not by very much; they were very small, so that really tightened up my whole grouping and everything. Then we went on to we went back to the paper, and for some reason, I don't know if I just freaked out or whatever, but my first 5 shots were all over the place. But then by the end of it, we tightened everything up real nice. I guess the gap in time and whatever it was kind of cooled me down and got me out of the zone, but we fixed that right up, started shooting nice. And now it's time just for fun. Now every other day during the week, I'm going to try to do this kind of thing 3 times a week, or at least twice, 3 times a week, a heavy training session. But besides that, it's just fun. This is the whole reason why we all do this, is just fun. This stuff is going to help you get serious and tighten up your game. All the other stuff is going to make you enjoy yourself and relax, and that's all what we want to do. So I'm going to finish up this brewski here, create myself another target, and then we're going to go ahead and cut this puppy in half. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Teach a kid to shoot, and I will see you again soon. Finally, we got some nice weather. Can't believe it. Take care. Be safe out there. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really wanted to share how I practice and how I'm trying to increase my skill. Leave in the comments how you guys practice. I'd like to know if there's anything you do that's special or different than I do. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you'll check out these videos on the end screen. I'll see you again soon. You guys teach a kid to shoot, and hit that like button for me.